Get a grab to the big drive, come on!
And that's a good look for George Wissinger at 162 kilos.
Not too bad. I'm kind of getting prepared for Worlds right now, so I have some crap playing out, but this is my room. Nothing too exciting. There's all my USA stuff, so I wrote up here little things to do before I go to Worlds, all my different classes, things I need to get done. I saved it, came in yesterday, so I'll save it to open up for the video today. Actually, I see it's already kind of half open. So this is my little tiny house. And then I go to school up in Reading, and then garage strength is up further in Leesport, so like all comes down, and my dad's house is kind of off this way, and then down here is Lancaster. So like Tuesdays and Wednesdays I go up to his house to hang out and spend time with him. So, but we live more in the woods up there, and here it's more of the community based, basically this little roundabout thing, pretty much. I'll meal prep every day. Generally I do it at night. Sometimes if I don't have time to do it at night, I'll do it in the morning, but I figured I'll save it for this morning. So I have all my meal prep at the beginning of the week, and then I just store a lot of the stuff in here. So we have an extra fridge, it's very helpful. So Wednesdays, as far as just the whole day in general goes, I'd say it's a little more calm than most days. So for instance, yesterday on Tuesday I have class from 9:30 to 11, and then I immediately go to my school's weight room, which is relatively small, and I train there for about an hour and a half. I have to basically go about as quick as I can. And then I have another class from 1 to 2:30. I drive to my clinical site, which is Albright College, and then I do clinicals from 3 to 6, drive home, do schoolwork. So on Wednesdays, I generally have class from 9 to 12. It's 1 3-hour class. We just got a text message from our professor though yesterday that class won't start until 9:30 today. So I'll have that from generally 9 to 12. Sometimes she lets us out a little early, and then I'll just go to garage strength. I'll have a while, and then I don't have to be at clinicals until 3, again until 6. The ones that are a bit more hectic, I have roughly an hour and 15 minutes to train, and sometimes I wish I had longer, just because it's not so much Olympic lifting that I do. So like yesterday I had snatch balance to a heavy single after doing doubles. I had push presses for doubles into heavy singles, clean high pulls at 130. Generally I've been doing like 145 or 150, but I've been feeling a little beat up, so I went down. And then another type of accessory work. I just basically count the macros. I weigh everything out. Thankfully I use my Fitness Pal, which I feel like a lot of people do when they count their macros. But you can scan barcodes, so it's very helpful when you buy things that are already pre-made that have a barcode. You can just scan it easily. I'm tracking the macros, so for the most part, the protein, carbs, and fat. Lately I've been looking a little bit more into fiber and the amount of sugar that I'm taking in. And then as we get closer to Worlds, when I'm, say, in Germany, or more specifically Turkmenistan, which will be a few days out, I'll start looking more at the sodium, and I'm going to start lowering the sodium content as well as my foods. So like right now, I think like my recommended sodium is like 2,500 milligrams or something like that. Oftentimes I find myself going way over, but when it comes time to compete, say like at the AO3 when I was tracking sodium, I could get underneath it no problem. I can, for the most part, predict how my body's going to react in training, as well as body weight wise, how my body's going to react. So we had my carbs all the way up to 375 a few weeks ago, and I had put on a decent amount of water weight. Once when we lowered the carbs down to 350 and then down to 325, which we just slowly kind of lowered it down, my body just basically threw all the water out. So I was up at like 69.3 for a few days in a row, and that was just too heavy for me. I felt bloated all the time, so we lowered the carbs a little bit, as we figured the 375 in the carbs was a bit too much. Once when we lowered it, pushed a lot of the water out. I'm a bit leaner now, and my body weight's back down to like 68.3, and we were 2.5 weeks out from Worlds. I am at a bit of one of the lighter weight classes. I'm small in stature anyways, as my body type. I'm only 5'6", so being smaller as is, it's very helpful to track. If it was up to me, I would just be eating a whole bunch of desserts and cookies and stuff. As you see, my mom baked cookies the other day and they're really good, so I would just have been devouring them if I don't keep track. So very, you have to have a lot of self-control around here with the mother who knows how to bake well. First time I heard about garage strength, I was with Tyler's team. We went up to CrossFit Ephrata for a weightlifting seminar put on by Michael McKenna. And when we were there, I had kind of, at that point, had fallen in love with weightlifting, still in CrossFit, but I had taken a liking to weightlifting quite a bit. So I was snatching like 111, I think, at that point, being 17 or 18 years old, with no coach or anything. So it wasn't too bad. Obviously it's not really getting up there, but it wasn't too bad. So when I went up to that weightlifting seminar, Michael McKenna mentioned that I'm actually relatively close to a guy named Dane Miller, who owns Garage Strength. So I looked it up, and a few weeks later, Tyler and one of the other, at that time, co-owners of CrossFit Ephrata, Chad Stauffer, said, hey, we're gonna go up to Garage Strength to train, do you wanna come with? I said, sure, let's go up there. So then we went up to Garage Strength, I trained, I had fun. Dane asked me if I would like a program or if I had one, so I showed him what I kind of had for myself, and that was December 31st, 2016. I remember that because it was New Year's Eve. And then basically at that point, that's when me and Dane started, and now here we are more than 2.5 years later, and I'm on the world team. So we went from CrossFit, who just had an interest in weightlifting, to world team the year after coming out of juniors, the junior age limit, on the senior world team with Dane. So first weightlifting coach, really, first weightlifting gym, made a world team. USA weightlifting, the Ramalho 2s. This would be my third pair of Ramalho 2s I believe I would have. I got these shoes, but I'll use them as backups because I've got Veloci's. Shout out to them. See what else I got. I don't know if this is actually all my gear, maybe. I think maybe that's the other package coming today. Let's see what we got. We got a Fitbit, some socks, Nike weightlifting shirt. That is nice. Ooh. Love the back. Oh, love the design. White. My warm-up pants. Yep. Looks like the warm-up jacket. What probably everyone's waiting for, including myself. Singlet. Ooh, okay. There's the back. And the front, new design for the year. Now, this is a pretty neat design. Which one are we thinking? Goodies from USA Weightlifting for the meet. I'll just go take this over, throw it in the laundry, get it washed before I go.
Are you gonna wear any of those shirts today?
Ooh, I could. I very well could. That's a good point. Let me see which one would work. I could definitely do my Team USA. Oh, that would be good. This, I really like this red star behind it. I just think that's neat. But we also have the theme of that. I mean, it's on this one too. But we have the theme of that star going across. It's hard to see in this lighting that I have right now, but on the sleeve of the warm-up jacket, you can probably see it better in the shine of the light, the star here behind the American flag. Right, so we have that, I think, on the back of the singlet too, the little star with the American flag. So I just think that's a neat design. So 2017 Junior Nationals. I took silver to CJ Cummings, but regardless of that, that's also one of the medals that put me on the Junior Pan Am and World team. So it was my first international squad that I made. So it means something. My girlfriend at the time, shouldn't even say at the time, still is Michaela. She asked me to give her a medal, and she was gonna make something out of it. So she made this herself. We took a whole bunch of photos while we were there, basically documenting the experience with us. So she took the medal and put up a few photos. This is my mom, this is us together. So this was like basically the moment right after I came out from the back, after pretty much hitting the total to qualify for Worlds. So that medal has a lot of meaning to me, since both me and Michaela and my mom were at that meet. It was one of the only national meets that my mom was able to make that she actually flew with us to go down to see, as opposed to just being, I say, like a national meet up near here. So Michaela was there, my mom was there, and it was the meet that I made my first international squad. I have a whole bunch of other medals in a bucket down here, even like my Pan Am medals. You know, they mean something to me, but they don't mean nearly as much as like that medal. I just threw them in here, my medals that put me on the senior world team. But you know, Michaela wasn't there, and although it is a big deal, I'm also not the biggest fan of these designs. I think they're cool. I can only assume that they're the American Open Series types of medals. They have different ones, all 3 gold, but I mean, they're just a series to me, the American Open Series. Those are like the national championships. I was juniors. Like a senior national championship means a bit more, and although these put me on the senior world team, that just has a little bit more emotional meaning behind it with my family. So that's why that one's up there, and it's just a nice little reminder of where it came from.
So where do you go to school?
Alvernia University, small D3 Catholic-based school. My senior capstone 1 class, it's fall semester. Senior capstone 2 will be next semester. So we're going there to learn about research and conducting research, doing studies, things like that. Train now at garage strength, which takes about 20 minutes to get there from my school, so we're on our way to train. I'm going through and looking at all my class schedule options, and I'm picking times that I know will give me about a 2 to 2.5 hour break at least one point throughout the day, so I can go train. I'm in class, my mind is on the class. Sometimes it's on the barbell, but most of the time it's on the class. And then when I'm traveling to go train, then I start getting in the training mentality. At training, my mind is just completely on training. So to balance school and training and clinical hours and homework and whatever other things I have going on, you have to be able to switch your mind to whatever you're doing and stay focused on that if you want to be able to excel in that area. So it's nothing too extraordinary for me. It's not that difficult at this point now because I've been doing it for 3 to 4 years. But I just know at this point, when I get to that activity throughout the day, I have to focus on that activity and nothing else, if that's how I want to be able to excel throughout that, whether it be school, training, whatever it may be. Transitioning to garage strength is very much like give your all or get out kind of mentality. If you're not in the gym putting everything you have into your training session that day, I feel that you're not really, I wouldn't say welcome, but you got to be there and you have to be putting everything you have into that training session. And it's obvious when you're not. Dane's good at picking up on that, and he will call you out on your bullshit if you're not giving it your all. It was a little rough at first. Dane has gotten better with yelling at his athletes. That was his way of trying to motivate them to continue to train hard. Maybe a little yelling, but he's gotten better at that. But at first it was very different, not what I was used to. It took a little getting used to, and then over the past few years we basically paired very well together. The suggestion for you is to make a senior world team. He'll yell at you a little less and kind of baby you a little bit more. That's my recommendation. It doesn't even matter really a whole lot if you make a junior world team. He'll still yell at you a lot. Make a senior world team, he'll treat you a little nicer. And it is fantastic to be that first weightlifter of Dane's to break out. At the same time, I'm excited in that sense, but I also feel like it's just part of a process that's always been in my mind, and that I feel like Dane has also had in his mind that someone, at least at some point, one of his athletes, especially as a weightlifter, will make the senior world team. It wasn't a matter if, it was just a matter of when. And I feel like since I'm that first when athlete, it's just continuing to be part of the process. So like I said, although it's very exciting to be that first garage strength weightlifting athlete to make the senior world team and get on that level, it's just part of the process. So it's nothing super extraordinary. It was going to happen eventually, and I'm excited that I can just be the first one to be at that level for Dane in garage strength.
Everybody love, everybody know how it goes.
We're gonna hit it after this car.
Everybody people.
We're gonna hit the whole.
Well, I'm a goddamn go figure, and my blood is the slave leather mask.
Lots of shoes, way better than the Romalio 2s. I thought I would never love anything more than the 2s, but they got the wooden heel. The heel height is slightly taller than the 2s. It works well for my crappy dorsiflexion. Love them. Wide muscle snatches, so technique work there, finishing the pulls. Now I go behind the neck jerks for doubles and singles. Today I'm going up heavier. I worked on it technically for a little bit, and now we're gonna try and push a weight, put me in the proper position overhead. Then I got heavy front squats, so we'll see how today goes. I've been feeling beat up pretty recently, so based off of today, I may get an active rest day tomorrow. So we'll see how today goes.
I've been drinking, no driving while texting and speeding. I swear that I ain't going home. You hold my phone and won't leave me alone. I'm blank Sivo, blank Coca Patron. I'm on Coca Patron, Coca Patron, Coca Patron, Coca Patron, Coca Patron, Coca Coke and Patron. I've been drinking, I'm driving while texting and speeding. I swear that I ain't going home. If you're on my phone, it won't leave me alone. I'm like Steve, I'm like Coke and Patron. I'm on that Coke and Patron, 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 Coke and Patron. I've been drinking, I'm driving while texting and speeding. I swear that I ain't going home. I'm on that Coke and Patron, 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 Coke and Patron. I've been hiding my soul, no eyes on my scope. I'm hiding your hopes and inviting your hoes to hold that control. All this Coke and Patron, I'm hiding my soul, no eyes on my scope. I'm hiding your hopes and inviting your hoes to hold the control. All this Coke and Patron won't leave me alone. She say I treated her wrong, see I don't believe it at all. I don't trust her soul, outside of my own. I'm out of control, ain't bad all these loans. Time to get back on the road. See this and stats getting sold. I'm scratching them off, just like the jackpot I'm on. Y'all touch on back on the wall. Reminiscing, playing basketball at the course with the gas. Now we draft for a sport. Dickie Jabos in the jersey with forces of Jordans was actually on. Nike.
If someone would say who would be the first one on a conference call, it'd be you.
Yeah, my back was a little tight doing those jerks today. Wasn't so much that it was tight, it was just kind of...
So tomorrow, why don't you just go like light and just fucking loosen up.
Okay.
And then Friday we go heavier.
Alright, I'll go light and I'll stretch.
I got my camel milk. My camel milk protein.
What?
Camel milk.
Camel milk? Is it actually milk from camels?
It's camel milk. From your area.
What camels are in Lancaster?
There's a camel farm in Lancaster.
Where?
Dude, I think it's in Greencastle.
But they'll show you the warm-ups and everything. We got a lot of good Nike gear as well. They actually finally gave us Nike gear. Here's the singlet.
Oh yeah.
Look at the back. The warm-ups are really nice too. They fit me really well. Because last year, I'm probably big.
Dude, this is cool. Wow. He's gonna have a big, tall finish. He's gonna rotate the bar back behind his head, and he's gonna get the head through the bar for a good, proper, long, linear pull. This is the best way to do a muscle snatch. It teaches you how to stay grounded. It teaches you how to have a proper bar path. Jordan was all pissed. He's seen people bang the bar with straps on his fucking moving.
Like muscle snatched 100 kilos today.
Fucking Alex Lee.
And you're just like, dude, really, dude?
I went mildly heavy. Wasn't too bad. A little beat down. Lower back's a little tight. So Dane said that I can take a bit of a more active rest day tomorrow, which I'm grateful for. So it wasn't too bad, but I'm happy I get a rest day tomorrow. Okay, so it is Wednesday, so we got like 2-3 days here. I gotta continue getting ready and then head out, get to the Philly airport around noon, make sure everything's figured out as far as check bags and everything. So I think my flight leaves at 2:30, go down to Washington, meet up with a few people from the team, then head out to Istanbul, and then I believe it's Frankfurt. So where we'll be finishing out for the training camp in Germany, which is gonna be amazing because one of the idols I look up to as far as technique wise goes, because I'm big into it, I really want to perfect my technique, is Max Lang from Germany. So I'll be able to meet him, and training in that environment with everyone else who you see on hook grip videos and all things gym. I get to see these guys from not only the US but also Germany, and this guy who I would really like to meet, and I finally will be able to. It's going to be an amazing environment to train in for that week. I'm really excited. I'm the strongest I've ever been, at the lightest weight I've ever been as well. So I'm hitting lifetime PRs while being, especially walking around, about 2 to 3 kilos lighter than I used to. So going in, I'm way more technically skilled right now than I was a year ago. I'm stronger than I was a year ago. I'm more confident, and I know that going into this training camp is going to be a lot of fun because of the environment that I'll be training in. So going into the meet, I was coming back from injury, both a knee injury and specifically more so a wrist injury. 2 months out, I thought this may be my last effort for long shot, but a possibility of Tokyo 2020. So I needed to make this team in order for that to keep that dream alive. Pushing myself in training, I knew what I needed to hit going into the meet. I was hitting those weights multiple times about the 2 weeks leading up to AO3 in Vegas. So I was very confident going in with myself. I had been watching my nutrition. I got a nutritionist for about 16 weeks leading up till then. So I was feeling really good with that. I was taking my sleep, my recovery, stretching, everything I could as seriously as well as possible as I could. A few people told me that I was a bit of an underdog going in, that no one really was paying attention to me. I don't know if that's the case. If it is, then I guess I was a bit of an underdog. I don't know. But going in, I just was trying to battle for myself. So I was pushing my own total for myself. I wasn't really trying to battle anyone else. I knew the total I needed to hit to make the team, and that's what the goal was. And ultimately, when we were at the meet, I was feeling pretty good. I hit a really good snatch, hit 129 on my second attempt, barely missed 132 behind me. And then pushing clean and jerks, we opened me with a clean and jerk that put me at we believed around 10th. So going into that, I was super confident. I knew our second attempt at 162 would give me some cushion. So walking up to that weight, I had to take it as seriously as I could. I just pulled as hard as I could. Obviously, a little technique. I generally think about trying to hold on to my grip a little bit longer as best I can. And then I stood up with that bar. It was heavy, but I knew I was not going to let that jerk get away from me. I wasn't going to let anything take that away, give me 2 or 3 red lights on that lift. So put it overhead, locked it out. Extremely confident in myself at that point. Knew I just made the team, but 166 would have given me a little bit more cushion. I think it may have been a little too heavy for the day in that time frame, but going into the meet, I was very confident with how my training had gone, and then also with my performance, I was taking it as seriously as I possibly could. So I knew I needed to make the team, and that's what I did. My personal goals, obviously as a weightlifting athlete, you'd love to go 6 for 6, especially this being my first senior world meet. It'd be amazing to start it out going for a 6 for 6 performance. That is a tall order. Is my total goal is 300 kilograms or more. That would be absolutely amazing if I could hit that. I feel if I'm having a good day based off of my training recently, that should be attainable for me. That is a 133 to 135 and a 165 to 167 clean and jerk and snatch. So I think that's definitely attainable. That's my total goal if I can hit. I would love to go 5 or 6 for 6. 4 for 6 would be okay. Anything less I wouldn't really be that happy with. But definitely a 5 or 6 for 6 performance would be amazing for me. I think more so this should be based off of a 6 for 6 performance. I think that's what I should really focus on for being my first senior world team. But then after that, I want to really look at a total. Say if I go 5 for 6, I would love to be able to then say put whatever is needed on the bar so I can get that 300 total. I'm Jordan Wissinger, 67 kilogram 2018 senior world team member. This is a day in the life of myself here. Thanks for coming along with me. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a great day.